Hello, and welcome back. Northstar here with another Interstellar Transport Company Let's Play. Apologize, as always, more and a little out of it today. And low energy. I did a Hearts Iron 4 video, hour and 15 minutes. I was exhausted. Well, it was an hour and 15 minutes of recording. There was some off-camera stuff because the second U.S. Civil War broke out after trying to desegregate the South in the 1930s. Which obviously the South was not gonna go with that, so they rose up and they engaged in treason. um, and I mean, I was ultimately thinking of taking it in a socialist direction. I mean, technically, what set them off was the Union Representation Act, but the thing I'm pretty sure they were afraid of was desegregation, which probably would have come eventually next. Anyways, think of it way well. I'm sure some people hate the fact that I'm a socialist here. By the way, socialism is not government does stuff, government spends money. Socialism is worker control of the means of production. That may be what you think communism is, but that's not. Communism is specifically Marxist-Leninism, and it's defined by democratic centralism. So it's a particular form of government under socialism, but socialism is any system with worker control means of production. There's a lot of other forms other than Marxist-Leninist, but they're all socialist, and none of them have been tried besides Marxist-Leninism, which I think what you well, the Soviet Union had a higher average long-term GDP growth rate than the West. It was only ever exceeded by France and Japan at different times, never at the same time. France before the U.S. tore up the Bretton Woods banking system, and Japan after, with the Soviets consistently clocking in at number 2 in both long-term average GDP growth rates and also economic equality, second to Sweden, which was number 1. Anyways, and in all cases ahead of the U.S. in both of those indices. Enough about that. So I have looked around, spent a little time with the charts. It looks like Alpha Transport is not running the leanest operation. Their cash in hand is overall profits. That's because of infrastructure investment and stuff. But their cash in hand is actually slightly less than mine. Their net worth, of course, is way more, and their expenses are through the roof. So they do have a higher rate of gain of research points than I do. It's worth noting. So they've been investing more in research than me, and that contributes to their net worth. I paused it not long before whether I was going to decide to go drone efficiency 1 distribution hub, or so that I can get surface landing and no longer need the receiving hubs, but also it's necessary for fuel efficiency techs to get drone surface landing. That helps my larger ships. Or if I was going to say go further on the interstellar ship line. So worth noting, the Colchin cigar, I think it might actually be better than the Geo even in system. Let's see. Or sorry, same rate of decay as the Colchin Geo. Larger cargo capacity. Takes much longer to load, unfortunately. And it's slower. Hmm. 5.4 empty, 8.7 full, so it's 3.3 fuel to move 180 cargo versus 3.9 fuel to move 205. Okay, no, it's less fuel efficient for sure. It's got lower cargo maintenance, but that's outweighed by it being slower. So it takes 6 days at 19% maintenance for every 5 at, so that'd be just shy of 120, 114 versus, or no, 90 versus 5 at 19. 5 days at 19%. I'm just multiplying 19 by 5. I'm sorry, my brain doesn't work great these days. 96 versus 6 times 15, 90. No, okay, so it's slightly less cargo maintenance, even with the speed. But it's much less efficient on gates. It's a little bit less fuel efficient. Its asking price is way higher, so yeah, it's not an improvement over the GL. It's not tremendously worse than a Colchin GL for sure, but it is worse. Okay, aside from that, figuring out whether I should somehow, yeah, no. So I keep, it's things are as I thought they were. And fuel efficiency is probably a thing to go for soon. Oh, gate rent is second. Well, gate rent is second only to fuel, but it is second to fuel. I already have more gate rent than I need for the ships I got. Cargo efficiency improves gate rent situation. Like the efficiency of gate use. Yeah, I'm just going to want to upgrade the drone stuff. All right, well, let's grab distribution drone efficiency. It's a minor upgrade, but since I'm going to be doing anyways, let's look at the benefits now. 10% speed increase the rate at which your distribution drones load cargo and launch. Whatever. Mostly irrelevant, but distribution hub level 3, which allow large drones, which transport more cargo per trip for what the heck it's worth, and I think they move faster and longer range. And direct to surface lane. I won't actually be doing any large hubs for walks. It's not worth the cost. Alright. So yeah, I'm kind of, if it wasn't clear, I'm kind of almost like brain dead from just an hour and 15 minutes of previous recording and then a phone call. I have to do these regular calls to check in with, well, state welfare agency. Like state is not the federal government in the US. Federal government is fucking me because of a job I did for a university not being eligible for SSDI contribution because it was exempt from payroll taxes, which was something that was in the 90s under Newt Gingrich, just to screw young workers basically, as far as I can tell. And then it was wrapped in supposedly being about helping international students, but it doesn't help them actuality, as it quickly became apparent. So it was just to screw young workers over. Because yeah. Anyways, neoliberalism, the ideology, ate the world. Newt Gingrich was neoliberal. Neoliberalism is an ideology of deregulation stuff, but also using the government to hurt people, basically, and to protect the interests of the rich. It's more complicated than that, but I don't really feel like there's a good second thought video on it. It just came out if you're interested. I can't think super clearly, but I'm like sweaty and my heart's kind of beating too hard because I'm overexerted today, but long COVID. Some days are worse than others. Some days it's just one symptom. What is the weather warmed up all of a sudden today. Like my body is freaking out about it because dysautonomia doesn't adapt to any changes well. even if it's a positive change, like it no longer being freezing. These are very high delivery prices on food and water. All right, maybe it's because they're low, or maybe it's because the gravity is so high and they know fuel. So let's set up a new route. To Stellius Secundus 2. Prices for everything are higher. It's gotta have something to do with how much fuel it takes to land here. This is a size 11.3 planet. Tremendously expensive in fuel. Maybe the prices don't keep up with the increase in fuel costs, for all I know. All right. Passengers both ways. Now what am I going to pick up on Earth? Food, machinery, water, goods. There's no source of weaponry on Earth. Starium could, in theory, be produced here. I can't set it up, though. All right. Because I don't have the tech, I guess. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing a returning to Kerbal Space Program. Oh, return to minimum. Interesting. Yeah, I've been thinking of doing a Kerbal Space Program. Let's play, getting back to that. Maybe with KSP Interstellar Extended. I would bet development is slowed down or stopped on that, even though it kept going for a long time after most mods stopped. I helped do some of the science for that mod once upon a time, like research. It's a good game. And interesting. Even the moons are big in this system. Excuse me. Yeah, I gotta name this route. This is far from anything. It's probably about to have dehydration or starvation very soon. Fortunately, needs about 4 times the water of food, and that's actually going to get worse as it develops. And then lots of machinery. I can do refugees in here, which there might be necessary with the famine that's about to come to the world. I just don't want to mess with the having to redo these things later. Water's more desperately shy, but yeah. It's such a big world. Mm. You know what? I'm being dumb. Alright, there we go. It's probably not perfectly optimal because they can't think that clearly, but it's something. I don't need to see every one of my ships. Mm. And now there's refugees. Mass starvation. I mean, mass dehydration. It's like a lava world, so of course people can't. It's very hot. Probably difficult to keep temperatures probably very high inside the habitats, and people die very quickly. Of course, as I said, regenerative life support systems makes no sense that you need to send this much water to colonies. Let's look at these messages. Water subsidy on Mercury ended. Machinery subsidy on Venus ended. New colony being on Chow 1. World is called Chow 1. What's even here? Oh, more Stellarium in another gigantic world. Seems to be mostly located in worlds with really high gravity. Like Earth is always size 5. These worlds, if they're, if they got more than twice the radius, they're gonna have more than 8 times the mass. Gravity's gonna be substantially higher, though maybe not. Surface gravity is great distance to the core, not quite. 8 times as high, but it's more than twice, so it would actually, it'd be like 8 times the surface gravity of Earth. I don't think anyone could live there. Realistically, not human body without a lot of genetic engineering or something. Yeah, when the moons are developed, you can actually put research outposts on gas giants. That's right. They have to be, I think, this planet or a moon has to be at 100% development. Yeah, that's right. Venus is fully developed, so give it a level 1 research station too. Research 1 a day? Must have another class A3 world somewhere. Where, though? Moons of Jupiter, maybe? A5. Ah, Callisto. It's the same class as Mercury. Didn't realize that. Bloody A. It's too much to keep track of. Really is. Research outpost in Titania. Train. Neptune and Uranus. Oh, yeah. And Saturn. Oh, none of its moons are fully developed. That's probably for the best, because I'm probably going to be going broke with this much research now. Okay, not quite, but I'm making less money for sure. Okay. Costs 900 a week. Okay. Use another gate here. Unsurprising. So can not with these darn messages partly. S53002. Wait, why is it waiting for dilithium? They should have left with enough to get back. Did something happen to reduce its dilithium? Apparently, occasionally you can see stuff like this. Alright. Send ships with a little dilithium. How did that happen? Did Earth run out of dilithium? Is that what's going on? Nope. Yeah, I'm now looking at 2 spacecraft waiting for dilithium fuel, which makes no sense. Ah. What the heck is going on? All these ships are suddenly arriving without any dilithium. Why is my reputation so low here? Yeah, let's pay for a spaceport upgrade. Or 2. Improve my rep. it's some kind of crisis of dilithium having run out here. It doesn't make any sense. All right. I'm going to tell them to have enough fuel for reserve fuel from now on, because there's something weird going on. God. I have to do a rocket or two on this route. Loaded with nothing but dilithium. Guess water. Looks like Chow 1 is... settled, and it's always second is having a famine. Lovely. In fact, the entire colony died off. And pirates destroyed one of my ships. Why are these ships not leaving with any... Oh, they're going to the wrong planet. Shoot. Just tired, but... It's apparently setting to next hop demand with dilithium will transport the occasional bit. That's an abysmal company reputation. So, upgrading spaceport to improve it. So sub an office. Maintenance hangars. Chat one here. Into shed, rather. Calls it hangar or shed various. And now I'm short on money. Yeah, let's get drone surface landing. 35 minutes. Recording here. One second. Okay, actually I'm overheated. Time to take off a layer. After being way too cold for too long. I guess it's a nice change. Don't have any distribution drones like Earth or Mars. So that's an awful lot of gates. Mars, there's no way I'm using all this anymore. Why does Mars have so much excess food? Oh, because its net producer is having trouble moving it, actually. Some machinery. Let's trim the number of gates here. gates on Mars. Gotta trim unnecessary costs. No longer need a receiving center. Select that gate on IO. Calista. It's going to be a major hub for the system, so do that. Cool. Trimmed my number of gates somewhat. Thal 4, I don't have a route there. It's decent. It's not actually a huge planet, Mathal 4. It's got stellarium. Planetoid size of only 4. How much mass this planet has? The higher the mass, the more fuel it takes. Oh, so it's not radius, it's mass. Okay, the more fuel it takes to fly a starship to this planet, but also the more room and population has to expand and exploit. Takes twice as much fuel if you only have if you don't have a spaceport, you only have surface ports. Also tells there. Thal 4. Roughly equal food and water availability, though it's going to shift more towards water over time. Machinery. Of course, always goods. Earth, Mathal 4. Visibles. There we go. That'll do. Since I have the cash for it, start this route. Whoops. Need a gate, don't I? Do that since it also improves my reputation. Cool. Still two systems I don't even have a route to. Al Kebab, whatever, in Chow. God. Do that. Get me a gate, but also for my reputation. Stupid AI is overburning my budget, that's for sure. Expanding beyond what I can service. Sure, I don't have any more distribution receiving centers since those are obsolete now. Why is the AI still using? They must have the tech for direct landing. Yeah, these interest rates are insane. In a bad way, 13% is the lowest. I suppose I could issue a 4 to 8 month bond. Let's do it. It's a little bit of money. I might actually make a profit if I'm aggressively expanding. Checking one of my older routes, or the Luna one, to see if it still make a profit. It is. Hold on, stupid phone making sounds. Do not disturb. It's hard enough for me to focus as is. Now on COVID without people making noise distracting me. All right. Ganymede. Ganymede. I still don't have a route to Ganymede, do I? Titan. Callisto, Mars, Europa. Iota, Callisto. Exchanging food and rares. Callisto now has a surplus of food? That's weird. I guess it's due to robotics. Still market for the rares. 11 a week. Portion of the production on IO. At 5% habitability, IO became self-sufficient for food. Weird. Looks like Ganymede does have tourists who want to go to Earth. I can still use consumer goods. Let's just set up a route. I was thinking about getting rid of the gates, but I should actually Except the bloody route I forgot about. Give me self-sufficient for everything but goods. On this route. What does it produce that Earth could use? It's got raw materials in theory, but there's no production. There's no mine. Okay. Still, I don't need this many gates for just some good shipments, do I? To Ganymede. No. Soft gate 4. Does occur to me they could provide water to Io, in theory. Instead of what's going on right now, we're get it from Europa. Colts and Geo. Running from Earth to Ganymede. Mostly passenger service, I guess. Yep. More efficient than having to go through a hub if they just get direct service like this. Or at least it's quicker, and I bet people pay what's worth. Got all these gates in Titan. How much service do I have to tie in? 2 ships. There's no more need for machinery there. currently, although sometimes disasters destroy it. Two stops, one ship. Approximately twice the food and water. And it's self-sufficient for both. Let's just turn this. Doesn't need to deliver food, water, or machinery, really. Just goods and passengers. There we go. I don't need nearly this many gates. There are dilithium crystals there, but I prefer to get them from Europa. It's closer, although admittedly higher gravity. Oh no, actually lower gravity size 2.4. So no reason to get them from Titan. Highly efficient stellarium nuclear fusion was discovered by scientists that methyl 4 plants will now demand stellarium. Oh no. Oh no. There's currently a stellarium stockpile. But when it starts running out, it's going to be problematic. Hour in here. I keep this going too much longer. Total equity 25 million. 25 told that 20,000 my credit rating is only B. What the heck? That's bullshit. Alright. Samp Earth Ganymede direct passenger service. There is enough demand for it. Transporting goods. It's not being used for passengers. See, my oldest ship is a 34-year-old Space Bus D520, and it's still working the Earth and Winter route quite profitably. Interesting. and acute on Earth, Mercury. What? I'm short money. I'm sure I can service these routes more affordably with newer ships. 55% deterioration is kind of a lot. 11 isn't terrible. But it's also not amazing. Selling off a lot of these older ships. Place some newer, more efficient ships. That's enough of a downsize the fleet. Small injection of cash here from ship sales. Cool. Well, I'm working fuel efficiency tech as well. Trying to bring down my various costs. The things with the Goons is they're smaller ships, they're less efficient on the gates, and Earth is getting crowded. Whoa. Earth's out of dilithium fuel? When did that happen? Shoot. That's gonna wreak havoc on, well, everything. Bloody A. Set the dilithium refinery on the moon. Oh, I can, actually. Let's see, a dilithium refinery. Does that make sense? How much cargo does it require? 33 water a week. So it also feed into water transportation to the moon. Yeah, makes sense. There's plenty of rare resources production. Let's see how that, or let's see, consumer goods. I'm just looking at other things. Oh, consumer goods factories do mass amounts of raw material transport. through in another shell service on Earth. There's still room. Okay, could produce the dilithium fuel close to where it's needed. I mean, close to where, close to Europa. Like Europa to Io and then just Io to Earth. Europa's starting to produce enough water already, so I have to transport water all the way from Earth. Alright, body A. I'm gonna set up a dilithium fuel refinery on the moon. Sorry it takes so long to figure out where to do it. That can also synergize with the transport of raw materials from Luna. In theory, reality, I probably just want to. No, because sometimes there'll be an excess of dilithium crystals on Earth. That's right. Sometimes. From Europa. Yeah, I need a Luna Europa trip route now. Or Europa. Well, I'm gonna. Dilithium Crystals. In Europa. And passengers. Any water that there is available, I suppose. No, I'm not going to be doing that. No, I won't have the storage. There's not a security station on Europa, is there? Nope. Shoot, this does remind me, Europa is a distribution hub, so if there's anything else that Luna produces. Food. Actually, I could do consumer goods factory in Europa if I really wanted to make this a two-way route. I would just cut into my saying consumer goods from Earth though. Would create demand for raw materials. Probably just want more dilithium mines though. Moon's got all the surplus food. Europa distributes surplus food to the other moons. Oh, none of them are actually receiving any. There's this one drone from Io. Alright, Io is the closest gate to Europa. How many passengers are there that want to go to Europa? Moon? None. Currently, anyways. There's an occasional, like, one. This is mostly going to be to supply dilithium production, so room for 2 passengers. Let's look for gates they have that I forgot about. None around Neptune. None around Uranus. 10, but I'm actually servicing that. Not well, but with the occasional ship. Mercury's got all these gates. self-sufficient for food. 3 ships, 3 old Cunes still operating Earth Mercury. We're actually not running a profit, really. Alright, so I got too many gates of Mercury. 3 will be enough. So these last KH1 Cunes on the Earth-Mars route. And sell one of the gates there, I think. Alright. And I'm now transporting dilithium crystals to the moon to supply the refinery there. So no more need for food to the moon or machinery. It's goods, water, dilithium crystals. It's a huge medicine stop on the moon. It's been from when they had their civil war. Really? Oh, there's a bunch of ships that are just sitting around doing bloody nothing because of the dilithium shortage. Not good. Have to add more gates or my whole network's gonna go to heck. On Earth. Alright. Upgrade that refinery. Wait, is there still iron and titanium? Oh no, they're just transporting it for some reason inwards. Concentrating it. Alpha Transport is also making dilithium fuel refinery in the moon. They got the right idea. They figured out I'm doing it, so they're deciding to copy whatever. What's the price for dilithium now? Ooh, Luna's paying pretty well for it. We'll probably do a second one of these. Set the money. There we go. The Colchin Geo running Dilithium Crystals from Europa. Which actually can't supply the entire demand right now. So I'm gonna have to upgrade that. Add another dilithium crystal mine on the moon soon. I mean in Europa soon. Well, blue is definitely doing well right now. Stop producing mere research points. Hmm. Seems I'm running too much water from Earth to Mars. I'm trying to, anyways. And machinery, actually. Too much of everything. The geodans are in great shape, so probably don't want to get rid of them. What I should do is take one of these Colchin Vishals and refit it and put it on a different route. Water and goods. Where is water and goods needed? Where are? There's plenty of water in Titania. Probably the outer solar system is flush with water enough. Oh, of course. Earth Luna. Moon's got to be tight on water now. Yeah, it is. Actually, refit Geodan here. Our machinery. Make it a water hauler to the moon. Back. It's like to have a little capacity pickup demand as it occurs for certain things. There's plenty of people want to make the Earth moon. Trip passengers. Maybe. Refit one ship and stuck on the Earth moon route. 48. Everything else I have just transports all that's left on the Earth Luna route that I didn't sell. It's raw materials and rares back and forth. So yeah. Water hauler. Given that refineries need a lot of water now. And some goods, passengers. It's probably more enough passengers for a long time. seeing an hour and 34 minutes here. Well, I am slowly optimizing things and getting necessary ships built. All of these. Oh, they're finally running the Earth to Celsius route again. Population is tiny. I may have to reassign some of those ships. There's too many running Earth to Celsius. So there's a ton of colonists who want to go there. Oh, there are. So it'll actually get back up. What it is I just started producing enough dilithium again. So it's a temporary. The route was unprofitable for a while because ships weren't able to go anywhere. Fun. Stuff's gonna have to change. Optimizations are gonna have to be made. No, Callisto, that's right. Because rares are needed on Callisto for... Yeah. Just the price for them sucks. That's why it's not a very profitable route anymore. Yeah, stuff will have to change. Optimizations will have to be made. Fuel efficiency here before I forget. But I wish you folks all the best. I can't keep doing this forever. I'm just going to be like, one more change and one more change and one more change. Before you know it, like, the video will be 2 hours. So I wish you all the best. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. May always find a gang star to lead you home. Until next time, this is Northstar. Adieu.